In Dubai, everyone knows the big developers, and due to this, their pricing already includes a reputation premium. With emerging developers, you're getting in before that premium is put in place. These would be developers in their growth phase. During this period, what we'll see is lower entry points on their projects, more attractive payment plans and incentives for the project to make it more appealing. Think of it like buying Apple before the iPhone. You're buying into the brand before it hits its peak visibility. In developer terms, as a developer does mature, the prices will increase as it has more reliability attached to the brand, along with the fact that you'll have a track record of projects that have handed over and evidence that the developer can hand over what they promise. What this creates in the market is a sweet spot. Developers can go through a stage of when they've handed over a few projects and they've got a lot of upside. So the prices are still low, the payment plans are still great, and they still have other incentives on the projects. Once they get to a certain point where they've handed over a range of different projects across the market, then their pricing will get more expensive as the developer gets more attraction. Strategic investors are looking past the big name brands to see what other value is in the market, and specifically this will come with up and coming developers. Throughout this video, we're going to touch on 5 developers that are currently going through that growth phase that we're referring to. They're still very much scaling the brand and growing their reputation, however have already handed over a selection of quality developments. First one that sits in this bracket is Imtiaz. Imtiaz is growing rapidly and probably the largest on our list here. However, they're definitely worth mentioning. Despite only handing over 7 projects in Dubai in terms of developments, they do have a track history of building here in Dubai. So Imtiaz have their own construction company that was founded in 1993, and that has been building infrastructure across the whole of Dubai for many years. What this means is they've been set up to enter the property development market and have the opportunity to build everything in-house. Being able to source all the materials for the projects that they're building and also the contracting allows them to stay on task, deliver on time and produce what they promise. Imtiaz's target market sits in the mid-luxury, just before the super luxury developments, but they are of a very high quality and the units come fully furnished, which is very rare for off-plan developments. For the projects that Imtiaz have handed over, there has been great demand for end users. Typically, Imtiaz then sits at one of the higher prices for rent in the area, but it is super demanded. If you look online for any of their projects, you'll see there is limited units. As mentioned earlier, they have handed over around 7 projects now across Dubai, which have seen great returns across the board. So they focused on areas such as Al Farjan and JVC is typically the ones that have handed over. These areas have seen great growth anyway. However, across the board, we've seen around 40% as a minimum for the capital appreciation on the units. That's from the initial sale to handover. Rental yield is also sitting at around 12% from off-plan prices to handover. Very attractive prices across the board, and as I say, this is due to them being in this growth phase where their prices are affordable, their payment plans are excellent, and the quality that they're delivering is very good. Imtiaz have a lot of projects currently under construction, which mostly sit in Dubai Islands and Dubai Land Residence Complex. In the past, they focused on JVC, which still has a few launches left to come and a few projects to hand over. Their most recent launch is in Meydan Horizon, which is an area that they will be focusing on for the future, which sits right between downtown and Creek Harbour. Next up on the list is Amman. Amman is a boutique developer that was founded in 2016 who have very quickly built a good reputation in the market due to the quality of their handed over projects. Similar to Imtiaz, they are targeting the same sort of clientele in terms of end users. The quality on Amman developments with really modern finishing and creative designs throughout the units. They definitely won't sit in the market where they will be one of the cheapest price per square foot in the area, but again, they do come at such a high standard and really good amenities with the building also, as you can see here. They have delivered 7 projects already, mostly in JVC, and they have one coming up in Arjan. You can see here as an example of some of the units that have been bought initially off plan And now on the secondary market, the appreciation that we've seen here across the board for Oman is really high. As I say, when they first launched their projects, I don't think there was too much anticipation. However, the quality and finishing seen on the projects definitely exceeded expectation. As mentioned, they have a project handing over in Arjan very soon, and in terms of off-plan options, they do have a building called Sierra in Motor City that is available still now. Next up is Sol Properties. Sol Properties falls under the Bhatia Group, which were founded in 1975. Sol Properties is how they have branded their development name, and that has been running from 2015. Not only has Sol Properties handed over residential units, they have worked with the government on many projects and delivered turnkey designs. So Sol has handed over already a range of townhouses and villas across Dubai. However, we have now seen them shift their focus to Sheikh Zayed Road, where they're picking up a few plots and most recently launching a tower, Sol Lux. This is going to be a luxury tower that's G+62, and versus what's recently launched in the market in DIFC and on Sheikh Zayed Road, it's very affordable versus these options. As a developer, this is an opportunity to get in on one of the prime locations, being Sheikh Zayed Road, just across from DIFC, while not jeopardizing the quality that you're receiving. Next up is Beyond, which is one you may have heard of due to the sister company or the umbrella that it is under, you could say. They sit with Omniyat. So Omniyat has already handed over many residential units and commercial buildings, which have been a great success. They come with really modern designs and tend to be ahead of its time in terms of their design. The idea for Beyond is the buildings will be focused more towards wellness and the amenities that they offer in the location. This will definitely sit on the higher end when looking at price per square foot. However, it does offer something unique in the market, and with it being under the Omniyat group, you can be sure that when it does deliver the project and hand over, that it will be excellent. None of the projects yet for Beyond have handed over. However, in this instance, I would not look at this as a worry, as it is under the Omniyat group. As we say, the difference here is it's focused on wellness and the lifestyle, not only the building. Majority of their launches we have seen in Maritime City. However, they do have one that's launched on one of the last plots in the Palm Jumeirah. And lastly, they do have a couple of plots on the Canal in Business Bay. As we've mentioned, they are looking for not only a beautiful tower and unique designs, but for the locations of the plots to suit someone's lifestyle and be a great area to live. Last up is Leo's, and if you're watching this from the United Kingdom, you'll be glad to hear that Leo's do already have a track record of delivering projects in the UK. Leo's have delivered both townhouses and apartments across London and surrounding prime areas. And like the other developers in this list, they sit in the mid to upper luxury bracket. Leo's are now operating in Dubai and have handed over just one project so far, however have a few others in construction. As you can see here, they've handed over a project in JVC, in which you can see the quality is very high for a developer to come over to Dubai and this be the first development that they hand over. You can see here that they are only going to improve from here. For someone who is looking for the British or European quality that they may not have seen in Dubai before, then Leo's would be the developer for you. Leo's do have a range of different projects and markets that they are looking at. So they have townhouses and villas in Meydan District 11 that are sitting in the sort of super luxury part of the market. And on the other end, they do have apartments in Dubai Land Residence Complex, Sports City, JVC and JVT, where you'll have a range of options from studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms and 3 bedroom apartments. So they're definitely expanding aggressively in Dubai, and they do come with very generous payment plans. What I would say is for the 5 developers that we have touched on today, they are all going through this growth phase, which typically involves a really attractive payment plan. Most you would be looking at 50-50, which is really strong for projects that have already handed over units and got that evidence that they will deliver quality. Despite all these developers being attractive developers and someone that we would highly recommend, it's important that you seek an advisor like myself if you're considering investing here in Dubai, so we can plan what location and unit would work for you. With these 5 developers, there's a range of options and there will be something for everyone. So if you are considering investing in the Dubai real estate market, click the link below for a free call, or if you're interested for more content, click the video above.